Good morning, class 9, and we will continue with where we stopped with the lesson a horse and two goats. I think you've got your script with you. You can take it out. And the two important characters in the story are Munni, a villager who lives in Tamil Nadu, and an American who is a foreigner. They are at both different levels. The American knows English, Munni knows only Tamil. The American is a wealthy businessman, Munni is only a shepherd, but he has only two thin goats. So he is poor, the American is wealthy. Then there is the clash, the conflict of culture. American wants to buy the horse statue in order to put it in his drawing room. He wants to take it with him to America. Munni is interested in the spiritual significance of the horse statue. And they talk to each other, but they don't understand a word of what one says to the other. So we will continue with the lesson. The foreigner thinks that Munni owns the horse statue because he is sitting on the pedestal, like all souvenir sellers who sit near the things which they sell. Munni followed the man's eyes and pointing fingers and dimly understood the subject matter, and feeling relieved that the theme of the mutilated body had been abandoned, at least for the time being, said again enthusiastically, I was this high. Maybe he pointed with his hand. I was this high. I was so tall when my grandfather told me about this horse and the warrior. And my grandfather was this high when he himself. So this story about the horse statue is handed down from one generation to the other. That is why how Munni comes to know about the story. The Tamil that Munni spoke was stimulating, was very exciting, interesting, even as pure sound. And the foreigner listened with fascination. Even though he did not understand a word of Tamil, he was interested in the way that Munni spoke Tamil. I wish I had my tape recorder here, he said, assuming the pleasantest expression. Your language sounds wonderful. Maybe he wants to praise Munni in order to enable him to sell the horse statue. I get a kick out of it every word you utter here. I feel so excited, so happy with each word of Tamil that you speak. He indicated his ears, that is hearing the sound of Tamil. The sound of the language was exciting and interesting. But you don't have to waste your breath in sales talk. I appreciate the article. You don't have to explain its points. Now again, they don't understand each other. The foreigner thinks that Munni is trying to reduce the price of the horse statue, but Munni was only speaking about the significance, the importance, the spiritual significance of the horse statue. Sales talk refers to the bargaining which both sides do to reduce the price of an article. I never went to a school in those days, Munni is telling the foreigner. Only Brahmins went to school, that is the high class. But we had to go out and work in the fields. They are poor, so they had to work from a very early age. They have not been to school. Morning till night, from sowing to harvest. From the time of putting the seed in the ground and till the harvest time, they have to take care of the crop in the field. And when Pongal comes, Pongal is an important Tamil festival. We had to cut the harvest. My father allowed me to go out and play with the others at the tank. There is a tank in the village. So only at harvest time he was allowed to play with his friends. And so I don't know the Parangi language. He is referring to English. I have not gone to school, I have not studied, so I don't know your language. You speak, even little fellows in your country probably speak the Parangi language. Of course, in America, very small children also speak speak English because it is their language. But here only learned men and others know it. Only people who are educated, people who hold important positions in life know English. The foreigner laughed heartily. He laughed uh, very cheerfully, very happily, heartily, took out another cigarette and offered it to Munni, who now smoked with ease. He was used to the smoking now, deciding to stay on if the fellow was going to be so good as to keep up his cigarette supply. He considered the foreigner as his friend now because the foreigner is offered him another cigarette, and Munni hoped that he will give him more. The American now stood up on the the base of the statue, in the attitude of a demonstrative lecturer, a teacher. A lecturer is a person who teaches in college usually, and he stood in that kind of position on the pedestal and said, running his fingers along some of the carved decorations around the horse's neck. He's touching the neck of the horse where there are carved decorations. Speaking slowly and uttering his words syllable by syllable so that Munni will understand. I could give a sales stock for this better than anyone else. Sales stock is bargaining over the price. So the American says that he could give sales stocks better than anyone else. This is a marvelous combination of yellow and indigo, though faded now. The combination of colors used for the horse statue is excellent in the foreigner's eyes. How do you people of this country achieve such flaming colors? Even though it is faded, there is a brightness in the colors of the statue. So the foreigner is asking, how do you people manage to put such bright colors? Flaming means very bright, like a flame, on the statue. Munni now assured that the subject was still the horse and not the dead body. I hope you remember the dead body. And Munni thinking that the foreigner was a policeman who had come to arrest him. He goes on to explain the significance of the horse, of the statue. This is our guardian. This means the horse. It means death to our adversaries. Adversaries is enemies. All the enemies of good people will be killed. At the end of Kali Yuga, that is the end of the world, this world and all other worlds will be destroyed. At the end of the world, everything will be destroyed. And the Redeemer will come in the shape of a horse. Redeemer is supposed to be a savior, one who saves people. So this Redeemer, savior, will come in the shape of a horse called Kalki. This horse will come to life. The horse will become alive and trample down all bad men. With its feet, it will trample and destroy and kill all the bad people. That is the significance of the horse. While he was brooding on this pleasant vision, happy dream, happy imagination about bad people being killed, the foreigner utilized the pause to say. Munni stopped in the middle of the conversation. Foreigner did not understand anything. Made use of that pause, made use of the time when Munni stopped to say, I assure you that this will have the best home in the USA. He's a rich man and he says the horse statue will be given the best room in his house. I will push away the bookcase. You know I love books and I am a member of 5 book clubs. And the choice and bonus volumes mount up to a pile really in our living room as high as this horse. The foreigner is a member of many clubs. Bonus books means he gets free books. And he has got so many free books that if you pile the books one on top of the other, it will be as high as the horse. But he will move aside all these things. Move aside the bookcase and the books, even though he loves the books. Because the horse now is, the statue is now more important for him. As high as the horse itself. But they will have to go. They will have to go means the bookcase and the books will have to be removed to make space for the horse. Ruth may disapprove. Ruth is his wife. She might not like this idea. But I will convince her. I will make her believe. Convince to make her believe. Munni continued his description of the end of the world. Munni is continuing with a description of the end of the world. He did not understand anything what the foreigner said. Our Pandit, that is our learned man or even priest, discoursed at the temple, spoke at the temple once how the oceans are going to close over the earth in a huge wave. All the water that is all over the earth will come together and all the dry land will be covered with water, going to close over the earth in huge waves, very huge waves, and swallow us, and we will be drowned in the water. Then the horse will grow bigger than the biggest wave. The horse will become bigger than the biggest wave and carry on its back only the good people and kick into the floods the evil ones. The good people will be saved. They will be carried on the back of the horse to safety. The bad people will be drowned in the water. Plenty of them about. Plenty of them about is a comment by Munni. There are plenty of bad people in this village and they will be destroyed. They will be killed. He said reflectively. He said thoughtfully. Do you know when it is going to happen? He asked. He is asking the foreigner if he knows when the world will end. The foreigner now understood by the tones of the other, by the style, by the tone of his speech, that a question was being asked and said. He only knew that Munni is asking him a question. He did not know what the question was. I am not a millionaire. I don't have so much of money like a millionaire, but only a modest businessman, an ordinary businessman. The American says he is only an ordinary businessman. My trade is coffee. I deal in coffee. Amidst all this wilderness of obscure sounds, all the talk made by the foreigner is obscure, means has no meaning for Munni. Amidst all this wilderness of obscure sound, Munni caught the word coffee. He understood only the word coffee because the pronunciation maybe in Tamil is kapi, and said, if you want to drink kapi, drive further up in the next town. They have Friday market and there they open the kapi hotels. So I learned from passers-by. Munni has not been there. He learned from people passing on the road that further down the road there is a kapi hotel and the foreigner can drink coffee there. The foreigner said, I repeat, I am not a millionaire. Ours is a modest business. The coffee business is a small business. After all, we can't afford to buy more than 60 minutes of TV. To advertise their product, they get only 60 minutes. On the TV, they have to pay for it. 60 minutes of TV, time in a month, which works out to 2 minutes a day. That is all. Although, in the course of time, we will maybe sponsor a 1 hour show regularly if our sales graph continues to go up. If they are able to make a profit in the coffee business, they will be able to do a 1 hour TV show regularly to improve the sales, to let people know about their business. Then the visitor, feeling that he had spent too much time already, said, tell me, will you accept 100 rupees or not for the horse? I'd love to take the whiskered soldier also, but no space for him this year. I'll have to cancel my air ticket and take a boat home. He wants to take only the horse. He likes to take the warrior, the soldier, but there is no space. And also he has to travel by boat, cancel his air ticket. Ruth can go by air. Ruth will go by flight if she likes. But I will go with a horse and keep him in my cabin, keep him in my room in the ship, all the way if necessary. He is prepared to protect the horse and keep it in his room in the ship. And he smiled at the picture of himself voyaging, is traveling by boat across the seas, hugging this horse. Being near the horse, proud of the horse statue, he added, I will have to pad it with straw so that it doesn't break. To prevent the horse statue, which is made of clay, from breaking, he has to put it in a box and cover it with straw or some other material like paper or cotton in order to prevent it from breaking. I have my station wagon, that is his vehicle, as you see. So the yellow vehicle is the station wagon. I can push the seat back and take the horse in if you will just lend me